Do you ever feel like sometimes you just want to run up on somebody? Okay. Let me explain. You are not the only one who get this feeling. I experience that a lot often, more than I like to admit. Okay. And it's a common issue that is occurring. It's a phenomenon that's occurring in a lot of women. And believe it or not, it can actually be an overlooked symptom of menopause and perimenopause. So let me explain. I want to share why that's happening as we get a little bit older and share some solutions that you could try to help combat and reduce the effects of some of the symptoms. Before I get started, I want to let you know that I'm just here to share practical health tips to help you to better understand your body so that you can take control of your own health journey. So if you feel like that's you, then you are in the right place on this channel. So perimenopause is basically a transition before you get to menopause, when the ovaries start to wind down and then the hormones start to act in a way that they've never have before. Perimenopause rage, described as extreme anger, or you could have bouts of anger that could come out of nowhere, and you could just get upset for the littlest thing. Just to break it down to you in the simplest way possible, estrogen and progesterone basically work together to put the body in the perfect environment to prepare the body for potential pregnancy. So what happens is that perimenopause starts to set in, it comes in, it wants to break up the union between the estrogen and the progesterone, and that's where you start feeling these weird symptoms such as extreme anger or rage. The main culprit is estrogen. Your estrogen levels drop. Well, it does drop, but the main root of the problem is that the estrogen will spike. That means it'll go up to a high level, and then sometimes it'll crash, it'll drop down to low level. So it's like kind of unpredictable at that stage. And what's really happening is the estrogen is starting to show withdrawal symptoms. Your brain can't regulate your mood if one day your hormones up and the next day your hormones down. Estrogen controls serotonin. Serotonin is a feel-good chemical that's released by the brain. It's a neurotransmitter, and this neurotransmitter helps to keep your emotions stable and in check. And without it, you're going to be going crazy. Now we know what the problem is and the root of the issue. Now we can begin to address how to fix it. And if you want to choose the natural route, let me explain to you how you can do that. The first herbal remedy I want to mention is ashwagandha. I've covered ashwagandha in some of my older videos. Make sure you go check out those videos. Ashwagandha is going to be a big one because it pretty much targets the hormones like cortisol, help to drop those stress hormones and help balance out the hormones. Ashwagandha is also one of the most researched natural remedies that we have currently, particularly for the nervous system in women later in life. The second part of the battle is progesterone. It's referred to as the progesterone crash. So the body only makes progesterone after we ovulate. No progesterone means no ovulation. So you're not going to be ovulating. And this leads to something called estrogen dominance. And that's exactly where the extreme anger and rage symptoms come from. Let me tell you about another experience I had with my episode of anger of rage. Now, I was on my way to get to the interstate. There's only two lanes, the coming lane and the going lane. So you don't really get too many chances to pass the someone who's in front of you if they are driving slow in front of you. And so this car pulled out in front of me, and I kind of had to, hit on brakes. And it just kind of irritated me because I was like, man, I just want to get to the highway as quick as possible because I got to get over here. I got to get gas. And then I got to get on the interstate so I can get to work. And somebody always pulls out in front of me, and they are always driving extra, extra slow. And I'm just like, fist balling up, and I'm just like, so, and I'm just like, immediately frustrated because I just want to get from point A to point B quickly. So this car pulled out in front of me. I was like, oh my God. So now I got to sit here and drive behind this car for the next 2, 3 plus miles before I can get the opportunity to pass this car. So finally, we drive another mile or two down the road, and then there's another merge on street where you can switch lanes there because it's like, two lanes. When we got to that point, I finally was like, yes, now I could pass this car. So immediately sped up around that car, and I was like, hurry up and get out of the way, like that. And it was just my natural reflex. I know it sounds bad, but this is it. This is how it happened. And then so when I went past that car and I looked to the side and I saw that it was an older lady. I was like, oh man, you did all of that going off on in your head in my car. I went off. And I'm not gonna tell you what I said, but I went off. I immediately felt that guilt, which is the same experience that people mention that they have when they experience these rage episodes, right? And like I said, I experience this more often than not because mainly it affects me, like when I'm driving. I'm try to control it, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. The next herbal remedy I would recommend is lemon balm. Lemon balm actually helps to work with the same receptors that progesterone targets to help produce the relaxing or calming effect naturally to get in your chill mode and to help you to chill out and calm down so you can get to sleep easier and you'll have a better night's rest. And believe it or not, something as simple as just getting a restful night's sleep, like you're able to do that on a regular basis, is like a game changer when you're talking about perimenopause because most women, when they face some of these harsher symptoms, they are not getting a good quality of sleep on a regular basis. The third herb that I recommend, and most women have never heard of this one, valerian root. Valerian root specifically targets the nervous system. Valerian root is going to mainly help you get to a deeper state of sleep. And then you have things like moringa and black seed oil. They are great supporters too. Black seed oil helps to combat inflammation. Now, inflammation is not going to be good when it comes to things like mood swings because it's going to make things like that worse. And so, if you have mood swings, you're going to have more rage and anger episodes. So, a lot of these natural remedies overlap themselves, right? You could use them for many different ailments and areas that may be a source of a problem. So, like I said, make sure that you go back and watch some of my older videos. I talk about a variety of ailments in my content. So, while we're talking about perimenopause, we want to address one of the main symptoms, and that is hot flashes. I got a little simple DIY that you could try at home. Three simple ingredients: distilled water, aloe vera juice, and essential peppermint oil. That's all you need. So if you do 1.5 ounces of water and you do 1.5 ounces of aloe vera juice, and then you're going to add 3 drops of peppermint essential oil. You're going to shake it up really well. And then you can use this whenever you have hot flashes. Just lightly spray or mist your skin, rub it in, and see how that works for you. If you try it, make sure you come back to the comment section and let me know if it works for you. That peppermint is going to create an instant cooling or soothing sensation on your skin to help cool you down. But also make sure you practice safety first. Make sure you do like a smaller patch test because if you're sensitive to it, then you may not want to try this. And when you look for your essential peppermint oil, make sure it's 100% natural, organic, and not like a fragrance oil. Here's the thing about natural remedies. You can absolutely learn to heal yourself naturally, and the body can do a really good job of that if placed in the right circumstances and given depending on the circumstance, right? So healing begins with a mindset shift first and foremost, like as with anything in life. It starts in the mind here, and then what you seek here, it manifests out here into in our reality. So in essence, if you are going about it in a positive mindset, then you are likely to experience more fulfilling or positive results. Here's the thing about solutions, right? A lot of people want to skip to the answer to their problem. Well, it's important to understand that in order to fix the problem, the root cause, you must understand what is causing the issue in the first place. It's like watching a movie and you want to skip to the end of the movie just to see what happens. Well, What's the point of doing that? Because you've taken the whole process out of build up of what led to the end of the movie, like all the events that happened throughout the movie. How did it start off, like the origin? So that's what I want to focus on. That's what I focus on my channel, like focusing on the root cause. Look for and understand the root cause. Why is it happening in the first place? Because you can find the solutions all day, and there's like endless solutions out there, but which one is going to work best for you? How do you know what's going to work best for you? um, is it the right choice for you? Can you use it with certain medications? So that's the type of thing that you want to make sure that you pay attention to, instead of, so don't just always skip to the answer before understanding what the problem is and how you got to the problem, because you're just gonna could potentially just lead yourself down a rabbit hole and just consuming so much information, and you don't know how to take action, and you don't know how to put all this information together to get to a solvable solution. If you've ever experienced a weird buzzing sensation coming from your chest, let me know in the comments. And make sure you watch this next video, because I'm about to explain exactly what's causing that, what you can do to combat that symptom as well, and why it's happening. Like, it's weird. So make sure you check that video out next. I'll see you.